This video is sponsored by Trader Central. Trader Central provides funding for traders, spot, cryptocurrency exchange services, and access to trading tools like copy trade software, portfolio tracking, and social platform exclusive for communicating with your trader friends. Sign up now using the link in the description and get up to 30% on your first plan.
So what happens with MMC? I'm gonna open a new chart. Last time I used a USD JPY, right? When you start to open your chart, right? Usually when you analyze using MMC footprint, you start from Monday or Tuesday. Understand? So
okay.
So what you do, you go to Friday of that previous week, right? Let's say today is Tuesday, right? Today is Tuesday, right? If you go on 1 hour time frame, if today is Tuesday, this is Monday, right? Tuesday, and this is what? Friday, right?
Yes.
So you put a line there on Friday, right? On Friday, and then from that Friday, you count 10 days from going backwards, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right?
Yes.
So on this day, that's where you put another line, which is here. Understand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Understand? This one they've moved because of we moved the chart. Right? When you do that now, right, you now find the highest point where the market is moved, right, to within this period.
Yes.
Which is this one, right? This is the highest point. And then you find the lowest point where the market is moved to, which is this one, right? So when you do that now, you now find the second highest point where the market is moved to. Second highest, which can be this one, right? This one.
Yes.
And also the second lowest, which can be this one, right? You can use this one, you can use this one, right? They can be good, right? All of this one. So when you do this now, you now have your supply and demand zone, right? This is your supply zone up there. This is your demand zone. You understand?
Yes.
Which means if you are selling, right, which means on Monday, if you are selling, this will be the best place to sell. You understand?
Yes.
This supply zone. If you are buying, this is the best place to buy. You understand?
Yes.
So after you have done this now, you now want to have what is called the MM footprint, right? Which is kind of like a trend line, but you combine it with the stochastic. And on the stochastics, that's where you put 833. Then you click OK, right? So if you do like this, right, you're going to see that the level where you find this lowest point, right, is a divergence there, right? And also, which usually in most times is also this one, right?
Yes.
And also, if you look at this point, this highest point, and also this point, right? There's also some kind of divergence, right? So what you want to do is that if the market goes below here, right? If the market goes below here, if it goes below here, and it goes overboard, right? Because on these two stochastics, we have this level, which is here is oversold, above 80 is overbought. So if it goes below here, and at the same time also it goes overboard, right? It's also a good time to sell. So it's just that simple. And then when that happens, which means you are selling up until here. That is where you're selling to. You're selling up until here. Your what? Your demand zone.
Yes.
That is where you're selling to. Because here it's coming from supply, it has to go to demand. Right? But first, it has to go under this trend line. But here on this day, we don't have another side. Like for example, sometimes when you analyze on Monday, right, the highest point will be usually around Thursday, Friday, depending on the currency pair. So you draw another MMC footprint again like this, right? Which means anything above, right, is buy until the supply zone. Anything below, if it goes this one, below here, you are selling. And it's just that simple. I don't know if you understand what I'm explaining here.
Yeah, you said anything is above the first trend line, the top trend line is sell, is buy.
Yes. And
The
below,
other one is sell.
Yes.
Is sell.
And if you are buying when it's overbought, right? For example, if it's like here, right? It's here where it's overbought, right?
Yes.
It's overbought. And mostly, it's most preferable if you find a kind of divergence there. If you find a divergence here, here there's no divergence, but if there is a divergence, which means here it is more of overbought when it's a little bit upwards, right? That is also a good place to buy, right? And you buy until you get here, right?
Okay. Or when it gets to the supply, you exit you cancel the trade.
Yes, you exit the trade. When it gets to supply, right, you exit the trade. But right now, as you can see that we are much closer to supply, right? Which means it's much better to wait if the market gets here and then sell. Understand?
Okay. Or when it gets to the supply, you sell. But when it's over the trend line, you buy.
Yes. Understand? Let's say, like for example, you see here, right? From if you have, let's say for the previous week, this, okay, let's find another currency pair to do the same so that you can understand again. Okay. Maybe
like if tomorrow, if today after the session I try to analyze, I have to start from last week.
Yes, you find the analysis is done Monday, Tuesday. Understand?
Only
Monday, Tuesday. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Because that's when usually the market is near the supply zone or the demand zone. It will be near the supply or the demand for you to do the analysis and trade.
There's no time for analyze the markets. It's only Tuesday and Monday. There's no time. Maybe after 3 You don't analyze it or what?
You see where is it closer to the supply, is it closer to the demand, right? If it's closer here, right, which means you are closer to the area to buy. If it's closer here, it means you are closer to the area to sell, right?
Okay.
Like as the week goes on Wednesday, Thursday, right? It's closer here, and if it goes below here, right? Because like where it is now, it can go back here and then sell, right? So you can sell here, right here, in this zone. When it comes back here, right? And at the same time also, it's overbought here, right? On the stochastic, you can also add more sales, right? Going down here. You understand?
Okay. Even if it's going the wrong direction, if it's overbought, I have to put more sell.
Yeah, if it goes above, right, above here, and if it goes below this trend line, right, this one,
Yes.
yes, and it is now overbought. Yeah, it is overbought there, right? You can add more sales going to the what? To the demand zone. You understand?
Yeah. Okay, I understand.
So that is the strategy. Let's open another currency pair so that you can understand more. Which pair do you want me to analyze?
GBP USD.
What do you do? Monday, this is Tuesday, Monday, you put a horizontal line there, right?
Yes.
And then you count how many days? 1,
10 days.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's your 10 days.
Yeah.
And find your highest point. This one. Second highest can be this one. You can use this one, either way. And then you find your lowest point, this one, right? Second lowest, you can use this one, you can use this one, right?
Yeah.
Either or. Then after this now, right? You know you have your what? Your supply and demand zone. This is your supply zone. This is your demand zone there, right? So which means when on Monday, when the market came here, you could buy, you make your profit, right? Now it was in demand zone, you could buy, it goes into profit, you make your profit. You understand?
Yes.
And you have to add also the what? The stochastic there. Right? And if you combine when it's overbought, like here, when it's overbought, you buy 65 pips there, right? Here there is divergence. Like we said here, there is divergence right there. Don't know if you can see here, right? There is divergence. Can you see that? Do you know what divergence is?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so
divergence.
divergence.
Oh, it's a WM.
Yes, it's a WM.
W.
Yes,
W.
so if it makes a W on the chart here, right? But you can see the lower side, the other side of the W, right? Other one is up, other one is down. But here, it is the opposite of this W. Understand?
Yeah.
Right? This one, this other side is up, this other side is down. This one is up, the other one is down. So it's kind of opposite, which means it's opposing each other. Understand? In normal cases, it follows like the W follows each other, right? Like here we have this low there and this other low, right? And also here we have this low and this other low. Understand? Which means they are following each other. Understand? But here is opposing. Like a good example is here, right there. You can see that here the W, right, is a lower side here, but here it's going up. So that is divergence.
Oh, when is divergence, I should buy.
Yes, it's divergence, and also it is the demand zone, right? The demand zone that you find here on Friday. Understand? Here, where we have the lowest point and the second lowest point. We have your lowest point. Your lowest point, we say, is this one. Your second lowest is here. Then the distance between is your demand zone. So when the market comes there, you buy. If it comes back here, you buy. Understand? So if you missed this opportunity here, there's another one here, and also another one here, right? But if it starts going up, now we are waiting for it to make another low, which you can use for MMC footprint to draw what is kind of a trend line, so that we can use to trade, right? And here, there's not much of a footprint there from the top. Here, there's one, but it's too much steep. The one here, from here to here, and then you extend it. Here, which you can use, right? If the market is above, you start to buy.
Okay.
Understand? But usually, you like something which is not too steep, because the market can go above, come back, understand? Sort of that. If it like we used previously, like here, right? If you know that if the market goes below, it is definitely going below, right?
Okay.
But if it is like this, like for example, if it like this, the market can go below, come back, right? Something like that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Can you repeat what you?
I say if you use like something which is too steep, like this, like for example, right? The market can easily retrace back. Understand?
Oh, back to the trend, to the uptrend.
Yes. So let's say maybe you have entered, like in this case, you would have entered here, right? The market will move, but it's still in your favor, but it will retrace very, very soon, right? Understand?
Which means I have to scalp on.
Yes, if it's too steep, yes, you can scalp only and make maybe 20, 30 pips. But the aim here usually, right? Like for example, when it's like this, when you know that if it breaks this trend line, goes below and goes overboard again, right? You can sell easily and get a lot of pips from there. You understand? Because you are looking, let's say if it breaks anyway here, right? Goes for, can have like 200 pips if the market is moving very well, right? That is what would be your aim there. And also you see also from where it is from here, right? From here, if you find like this one, you see that here, if it is like this, right? It's too steep, the market went above, now very soon it's going below also. That's why I say if it's too steep, it's kind of a little bit tricky. So you usually need something which is kind of like this, which is very good. Understand? If the market retraces somewhere here and start going down, you can have an MMC footprint right above here. Understand?
Yes.
I don't know if you understand what I'm explaining.
I understand.
So do you have any questions?
The strategy is possible to work with Nasdaq.
Nasdaq, yes, I've seen some using it on Nasdaq. I've seen some using on Nasdaq, but mostly I've seen most people using it on currencies. And when it was also taught, I saw it being taught on Nasdaq, which I've seen also working. That's why I tested it also on currencies and saw it working on currencies.
Okay.
It's very simple. And then after this, you need just to adjust your psychology and your patience and your timing, which is very easy. After you have the rules, right? Very simple. You just have to wait the market to cross, and don't just sell anyway. Like if you sell here, the market can retrace, because you can see that here, the most possible thing which can happen from here is for it to go there and then go down, right? As you can see, that's what the stochastic actually represents. The market goes up, goes down, and that's the same here. It will go up, go down. So you're waiting for it to be confirmed that it's now below. If it's now below here, if it retraces to be overbought, the next thing, it has to go down.
Okay, so when it's past the trend line, you don't wait for it to retest.
You wait for it to retest first.
Okay.
If it passes here, you wait for it to retest here and also to be overbought here.
Okay.
Here also you have to be overbought, right? You now have a second confirmation there.
Okay.
And
then how do you identify the long trend when you buy or sell?
The long trend meaning what? Where the market is going.
Yeah, when like you have to stay to your trades.
Oh,
like
that's when I said, like, for now, right? When the market breaks down, right? When it breaks here, when it breaks down, right? Which means it has shifted from going up with the supply zone and going down. Most possibly, it's now going down, right? And then you now have your MMC footprint there, right? This one, maybe let's say from here where it is now, it goes down like this and retraces, right? You have your what? Your MMC footprint there, which means if the market goes above now, right? If it goes above, you have to stop. Understand? After here, it's overbought and started going down, right? If it goes above, you can stop selling, possibly look for buy. Understand?
Okay. When it's going back, maybe to jump the line, it's possible to buy.
Yeah, if it's possible to buy, because the market will move up and down. So you want to see where it's coming from. Here it's coming from supply, which means it's going to what? To demand.
Okay.
Yes. So the current pairs that we are looking for are ones on Monday, Tuesday. You're looking for ones which are closer to the what? To the supply zone. And from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when you find your entry, right? Here, you find your entries closer to the supply. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the market will move the other way down. Understand? Like here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the market will be down here, right? And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the market will move. So this one moved very fast, but sometimes it will take, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and then go the other direction. Understand?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you using this strategy, you check in different pairs, so you guess the perfect one.
Yes, you find the perfect. You can use here, right? Here, you can see that here you define entries, right? And after finding the entry, you now have your kind of a footprint there, right here. You can see here,
Yes.
right? Which means the market must start to buy. If it goes up, it retraces, right? If it goes overbought, you what? You add more like here, something like this, right? If it goes above, retrace. Let me draw here. Above, retrace, and at the same time it's overbought here, which means it's like this, right? Here also you are buying. You understand?
Okay.
Yes, and you do the same. If it goes above, if it starts going up, and you start to retrace, you draw another footprint again from there. Understand?
Okay, always looking for, always drawing the footprint to look for the market soon going back.
Yes. Because you don't want to start to buy when the market is not about to go in that direction. Sort of.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
I don't know if you understood everything we've talked about.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, I wish maybe I have a way to remind myself when I forgot, but most of the things I remember.
Okay, it's very simple. There isn't much of it. What you need to do, I've seen that the strategy, it works, right? But mostly some just maybe it's being over, like, what can I say? Like over advertised or something. It just works like other strategies out there. Understand? That is how it works.
Yeah, I just there's some new in Forex, so I try to learn Forex.
Yeah, that's the best thing. The best thing is to learn for yourself, trade for yourself, and then you make profit there. That's the
Yeah.
best thing.
How long you doing trading?
Me, it's about 2-3 years now. 2 years.
Okay, thanks, bro. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. So now what you just need is to just not be greedy. Like, let's say right now you are buying, you say you've missed, you start to buy. Wait for it to go above, retrace, right? It goes below, like overbought, you buy. You understand? You buy, you can use like maybe simple things like pin bar, something like that, right? When it retrace and it's overbought, if it gives you a pin bar, a bullish engulfing, you buy. You understand? Something like that.
Oh.
Yes. Just to aid, you are making it a little bit better. You are seeing what works, what doesn't work, something like that, so that you can also improve personally.
Okay. So.
Yes. That is most of the thing. Did you understand, or can I make another example on another currency pair?
Let's make the last one.
Last one. Okay. Which currency pair?
Let me check. Euro GBP.
Euro GBP. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of this information is there on YouTube. Most of the information is there on YouTube. There is no much need for you because most of the videos have been uploaded on YouTube. Most strategies have been uploaded on YouTube. So there's no much need for you to run around paying a lot of money to learn these strategies. Most of the things are there, which actually works. But the thing is, you have to find one thing, understand that thing, and then trade and grow in that thing. Understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now what did you say? You find this is Friday, this is Tuesday, right? Yes. Monday, Friday. So you draw.
When you analyze, sorry, sir. When you analyze, you work with a 1 hour charts.
Yes, you work with 1 hour.
Yeah, it's possible to analyze in 1 hour, then you go to buy in 5 minutes charts.
Yes, that's also possible. If you want to scalp, you can scalp on 1 hour, but you are still using the same things. When you find your footprint on 5 minutes, and then that is what you are doing, right? If you find the footprint, break your footprint, retest, the market is overbought, you buy. You understand? But you have to first know which direction the market is going first, which is what you do on a 1 hour time frame, right? So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? You draw your horizontal line there, right? You find your lowest point, this, right? Second lowest, you can use this one right there or this one right here. Understand? And then you find your highest point, which is this one. Your second highest, you can use this one right there. And then you have your supply and demand zones. You have your supply and demand zones right there. Understand? So now you are waiting. This was Monday. Tuesday, the market went to the what? To the supply zone.
Yeah.
Where you can sell, right? And then here, you remember to add your what? Your stochastic with 833. Understand? 833. And click OK. Right there. And then you draw your footprint there. Right here. And here also you have another one right now. Like this at the top. Right? So which means if you want to scalp, right, you can still have another one here, which is like this. It's like this.
For the scalp.
Yes, for a quick scalp. Yes, so after the market broke this one, right, it comes back here, right here.
Yes.
You sell, right? Quick one, 20, 30 pips, you close. You understand? If it goes again, you now have because you are now on a smaller time frame, right? Which means now you have another small footprint there. You are waiting for the market to go down, retrace, go overbought, you add more. If you want to add more, you understand? But don't be too aggressive like what you saw on what you see mostly like people trying to make $1 billion, because mostly what will happen, you are going to blow your account. That is what mostly is going to happen. Understand? You can do that on a demo account because on a demo account, you never lose money, by the way, right? But on a real account, be realistic, right? You can double your account, you can triple your account, but trying to make $1 billion is way too far. You actually blow your account before you even get there. Understand?
Yes. But you can trade, you can use this strategy maybe if you have $60.
Yes, you can use. Yes, you can use a $60 account. That's perfectly fine. Like for example here, right? You can see that here, the market has broke this MMC, right? And retrace. It's now overbought. You can sell here, right? With a $60 account, target to double your account. You can double 20 pips, you can double that account. You understand? 20 pips, you can double, triple that account, depending with the lot size that you've used. If it's $60, if you use like 0.6, somewhere there, or 0.06, you can double that account with 20 pips, and then you are out. You understand?
Okay.
But if you try now to force that to make like a $1 billion, what you see is that 20 pips will look like nothing. Understand?
Because
here you get maybe $100, $200, but you still want more, which means you now have that greed, which is now coming in, which will now stop you from taking profits that you have to take. You understand? I don't know if you understand.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
You have
So
to balance those.
can I ask something?
Yes.
Since you are saying to where I should buy, then when the market is going back, I should sell again. When
Like
the
what?
market is going back, you see where you are saying I should sell.
Like here, right? If you sell here, right? Let's say we want to wait, we are very patient, we want to wait for the market to get to the demand zone here, right? Which is maybe until Friday, somewhere there, right? The market comes here, you sell, right? The market is there and it's also overbought, right there. You sell, right? You first sell, the market retraces right here, you add another sell, you understand?
Yes.
You wait the market to move, right? But when it's now like when you're waiting for these big moves, you have to be a little bit edge small on the way, because it will retrace very big, and also sometimes can go beyond like what you expect. So that's why you don't, if you try to, that's why if you are too aggressive at the same time, you don't be conservative at the same time, you blow that account easy. You understand?
Yeah.
Let's say maybe here, if you're using a $60 account, maybe here you've used a 0.06 somewhere there, and it goes, you make, here you will make around $100, because it's around 30 pips, 40 pips, right? 40 pips times yes, which is around $120 somewhere there. And it retraces, you add another, maybe you can add one lot or somewhere there, which means now with one lot, this is around $200. That's another $100 you from the other one, which is now around $200. You understand?
Yes.
So you are playing it average at the same time you are growing that account. You're not like you want to add 5 lots, 10 lots, which means a simple move which will happen behind that entry. If you did not get the high of that entry, your account is blown. Understand?
Yeah.
Maybe you can give, like when you're entering, you can make it like 20 pips somewhere there, right? Maybe it can retrace 20 pips, something like that. So you put that in mind and then you enter. Understand? Which means when you 20 pips, you double your account, something like that.
How many pips should I put for the stop loss?
Somewhere around 20, 25 pips.
Okay.
Yes.
25 pips. Okay.
That is what I have seen working, 20, 25 pips.
Okay, thanks a lot. I will
And
contact
also,
you
as you improve, as you are using this strategy more, definitely with any strategy, you understand better, you see, you even get to where you can get like sniper entries, something like that. So as you improve, you know, understand. And also, as I said, make your research, go on what? On YouTube, right? Go on YouTube, you say MMC, footprint strategy, right? There are a lot of strategies, right? There are a lot to be explained there. Here you can see this one, right there.
Yes.
Planning MMC footprint, right? There are a lot. This guy also, this is the founder kind of MMC footprint in a sense. So you also have some videos explaining, and they also have like the new version which he uses moving averages and stuff. Understand?
Yes.
So there's no need for you to pay someone like 15,000 rands to learn this strategy. I don't think it's worth it. That is what I think. I don't think it's worth that amount.
Because it's too expensive, eh?
15,000 is too much because it's still basic like other strategies at the end of the day. You understand? It's still the same what we call strategies like those supply and demand strategies, trend line strategies, moving average strategies is still in that same area. So there is no need for you to pay like this is the kind of the whole strategy in just 1 hour. So when someone is teaching you, you just be adding more information of what you have to know, which is already there on YouTube, right? If it's about leverage, you can learn leverage on YouTube. If it's about adding more lot sizes, it's like what I explained. When the market retraces, it's overbought, you add more, things like that. Understand?
Okay.
So I don't think it's worth that amount. That is what I think. Understand?
Okay.
What I think. Because usually also, things are hard everywhere. So if you pay 15,000 for the strategy, you also want to deposit amount in your account, which is maybe $100, $60, $50, sometimes $10. Understand? And if you want to make big, it will take you maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe 1 year. But for instance, you've understood that strategy, you have learned from YouTube as explained, because it's still the same, right? You do your test, your back test, you go a lot of charts, current pairs, you analyze, you compare with what you've seen on YouTube. Is it what you are doing, right? And then you fund, let's say that 15,000 that you wanted to pay for that lesson, you fund it into your account, and then you grow that account. Right? You will see that you even make more money that way. Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
That is what I think. But if someone thinks it's better to pay that 15,000, that's perfectly fine also. But as I know, mostly people will pay 15,000 and regret and see that it's not really worth that amount. Listen. And also at the same time, the mentors, like the example, what I've seen mostly, like the Operandi, you teach only 1 hour, right? 1 hour, maybe per week, maybe per month, something like that.
Okay.
And you've paid 15,000 to learn the strategy. You understand?
Yes.
So that is what I think. So what is your thought on this strategy, as I explained, or as you see on other on YouTube or on everyone? What do you think about it?
I think it's a good strategy because it's gives me the clue how to deal with the markets.
Yes, so here you'll be explaining, though you take time to do this. So this is what we are saying. We'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, right? And here is now drawing the MMC footprint. Understand?
Yes,
right there. Yes. If the market breaks, retraced, you sell, right? The highest point there, second lowest point, somewhere around here, right? So which means if the market goes back here, you are selling also up until here. Here, this is your lowest point, your second lowest point. You understand? So this is the whole strategy. I don't know if you can see it, the lowest, second lowest point. You understand? So it's still the same thing. Those things are there on YouTube, many videos that you can actually check on, right? And for trading, you can use 15-minute, 5-minute for scalping, but if you know when you get to smaller time frames, what will happen is that mostly you need to have understood the strategy better, one, and also you have to understand that you are scalping. Understand? Which means moves 20 pips, it shall retrace 20 pips, 50 pips, depending on the current pair. If it's GBP-USD, it can move 50 pips, retrace 30 pips, retrace, something like that.
Which currency is moving more pips?
It depends with the current pair and the time of the day. So when you practice, when you do your practice, do your understanding, you will see this current pair moves. You understand? Through trading, you will see.
Another thing I wish to know, to understand better is the fundamental. I can't understand the fundamental.
Okay. So fundamental, right? Fundamental, I've shared a video of Easy Forex, right? I've shared a video of Easy Forex. I think it's there, which explains about fundamentals. This one. It is like the whole strategy. It's also in the group, in the Telegram group. Here we explain this one. The strategies are very simple and basic, sort of. Let me show you. It's very simple and basic strategies. And one thing, as you said, you are a new trader. One thing you have to refrain yourself from doing is to overdo things. I don't know if you understand that.
Which means I have to reach my targets, then go away from the markets.
Yes, you have to have your daily targets, you have to have your weekly targets. At the same time, also, you have to stick, let's say, maybe one technical strategy, one fundamental strategy, or you just trade technical, or you just trade fundamental. Understand? Not to have, like, try to have 10 strategies. You understand? Yeah, sort of. That is what will happen in most new traders, which is it's very sad that you won't reach your goal very soon. I don't know if you remember that on Friday, there was NFP, right?
Last week, I remember.
Friday, there was NFP, and also there was card employment change. Understand? This was Friday, right? They happened at the same time. So with what he explained, he said on the 15 minutes, right? This is at 3:30 where the news will happen, right? So here from here, you draw a trend line, which shows where the market is going currently, which is like this. And then when the news happen, which means here, you're going to sell when the news comes. When the news comes, you sell. That is what it means. And then it will go. But here, it did not move that much on this day. So you have to wait maybe 1 hour, 2 hours until you get enough profit there. But it did not go explosive like that. And even NHP, with some current pairs, it did not go like explosive like it usually did in 2017, 2018, somewhere there, where the news were that strong. Understand?
Where is the candle for the NFP?
Yes, you sell here. That is where you put yourself. Yeah.
We said after it or before it's closed?
No, you see here, right? This is a 15, you sell like a 10 minutes before NFP or card employment. If you were trading card JPY, which is a card employment. There was card employment, there was NFP. There was NFP, right? This was NFP. And also there was card employment also.
Okay.
So you choose which one you want to trade. You can trade NFP, you can trade card employment. right? They nearly move the same. Sometimes CAD even moves much better on these days. So you choose which one you want to trade. Because if you're trading NFP, you use something like USDJPY, something like that. That video will show you everything. So this was Friday, right? Friday.
Yeah, when you trade NFP, you don't push the stop loss.
It's much better for you to deposit what you can afford to win or lose.
Oh.
You understand? Because the news can be explosive, and mostly that's when the brokers like manipulate the stop loss, the entries, all of that. So you can have your stop loss, but usually you can see a case where, let's say you have a stop loss here, right? Here there's no where the market has moved explosively. Okay, let's say for example, this is news, right? You have your stop loss, you want to enter somewhere on this candle, right? And then the market will shoot up, right? You will see that your stop loss will be there, but the price will be here, which means your account will be like at minus something or even below, but still you have your stop loss there. Understand?
Yeah.
So it's much better. Let's say you are trading, you have $60 that you want to trade on NFP, right? You deposit only $60 into that account, and then you trade using that. If you want to trade using $10, use $10. If you want to trade using $100, you use $100. Understand?
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Because your stop losses don't usually work with the news. They don't usually work. So here, the NFP news happened here, right? So you see, you draw a trend line right here like this, which means be a sell, right? Here will be a sell, and the market moved down and rejected, right? That's why you from the video, it said when you see profit, like they say it makes like you have reached your target, you get out. Understand? Because usually it will retrace all of that.
Yeah, I understand.
That is for news and all of that. So all the strategies are there also on YouTube. Everything nowadays, most of the mental strategies, they are there on YouTube. There's no need for you to pay all of that money. It's there on YouTube, everything.
Okay.
What you just need personally is to grow personally. That is the most challenge what new traders face. Like as new traders, we face one, fear, greed, patience. Those are the things which we face a lot. That is what you just have to need to grow, in which you can grow personal. There's no mentor who can teach you how to be patient. You have to be patient. There's no mentor who can teach you how not to be greedy, right? Because on the first day, the reason why you're trading Forex is because you want to make money, which means there's some greed involved.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so there's no mentor who can tell you reduce your greed like this. How can you reduce your greed like this when you are here to make money? Understand?
Yeah.
So it's just you personally, you just have to adjust your lot size, not risk too much, not risk too low. Understand? Don't put all of your money at once if you know that you don't have another income. And also if you have family depending on you, you don't take a loan and then you put that amount all in Forex, which means if you blow that amount, the bank is going to come after you, your family is going to starve, they're going to blame you at the end of the day. Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So that is when you are too greedy, you take a loan, you risk it all in one trade, you want to make millions in one day. You understand? So you have to manage it personally, right? if you are going to work, you get your 10 rand, 15 rand, you deposit, right? You trade it, you grow it, 50 rand, 100 rand, 1,000 rand, growing like that, right? When it grows, that's fine, understand? Because you're going to have losses with any strategy. Doesn't matter which strategy you trade. Sometimes it will lose, right? There's no 100% winning strategy. Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So that is what I think. And I also think this new strategy, it also works. That is what I think. It also works. But as I said, it's not worth 1,500 rands, which is said you have to learn the strategy for. Understand? Because it's just like what you see, you have 5 seconds they've explained the strategy. What you need is to look for the aggressive move before the news, right? The candles moving upwards like this, and then you draw your trend line, right? Which means if the market is moving up like this, which means it's a sell. And if you want to confirm, you look if the market, like a normal trend line, like this. This normal trend line is for the confirmation.
That is a sell.
Yeah, so if there is a confirmation and also just before the news, the market makes aggressive move like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like up to 10 candles, something like that, 5 to 10 candles, moving same direction like this, is a sell. Understand?
Yes.
And you pay 1,500 for the same strategy that you can, I don't know, that is my thought. I don't think it's worth that amount. Maybe if it was learning how to trade with no losing, and then you don't even lose. When you learn that strategy, you don't even lose, then yes, it will be worth that, because you know you can turn a 100 rand account, a 1,500 rand account into millions. You understand? But with all these strategies, it will lose maybe 2 times, 3 times, and you win maybe 4 times, which means at the end of the day, it will be up and down, but still growing, like all the strategies. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
What do you think about the session that we have done now? What do you think about it?
I think I learned a lot today.
Okay. Okay, have a good night, bro. Good luck in your trading.
Okay, thanks, sir. I will be in contact with you.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, bye. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.